What's up, guys? We've been waiting extremely patiently for a whole bunch of parts to come in for Hank's Squarebody. Some of you extremely impatiently. So that we can start addressing some of the tetanus on this truck. So with that being said, we're not going to waste a whole bunch of time. We've got to get right to work, getting some of this rust cut out, replacing it with new metal.
Well, I see that we have boxes.
Bunches of boxes.
I mean, there's only 3 boxes.
Yeah, it was more boxes, but it's stuff not in boxes now.
So what you got here?
So, what we got here, believe this is going to be our cab corners, because both cab corners are shot on this thing. Floor pans, shot. Got some of them right there. Bed sides, shot. Got some of them right there, unless we replace the bed. Inner rockers, shot. So we got some. Rockers, shot. So we got some. So we got all this stuff. This is like, we're basically about to build this cab right now.
I mean, we are essentially rebuilding a whole truck.
About to rebuild it. There's a couple pieces that aren't attached, like to the floor pans and stuff, that we're going to have to actually build once we get the rocker cut out, which is going to be this stuff in here. We're going to have to actually build that and fit it in and all that stuff while we're in there addressing those inner rockers and the rocker panels as well as the floor pans. But, you know what? Hey, it ain't nothing but metal, brother.
Yeah, I mean, we essentially did do one square body. We could do it all.
Now we're just doing another one. So anyway, with that being said, we better get ready to get started cutting this thing out. First things first, we're going to cut this rocker out so it gives us access to all this inner rocker as well as that piece right there. We'll get those floor pans out of the box, get those in there, figure out where we got to cut, and about time for some surgery.
Let's do some cutting.
Let's do it.
Well, it's a bit rusty here.
A little bit. So first things first, we're going to have to figure out where we've got to cut all this, which is what we're going to do here. But I'm going to put this thing up here on the front. It won't fit because it's got all this attached. So what I like to do when I replace these panels is leave as much factory metal as possible, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and also, it's just less problems.
That's pretty sturdy. I mean, that's all surface rust. So.
Yeah, that's just, that happens because that's where the bolt's at. But
yeah,
what we're going to do is cut off of this patch panel what we're not going to need to replace, and then just go ahead, stick it up there, figure out where we're going to have to make our initial cuts, and then we'll start cutting on the actual truck itself. So anyway, that being said, better cut this thing, sir. Scalpel. Oh, you had it here already.
Yes.
Thanks.
I come prepared.
Appreciate you so much.
You're welcome.
Put on the old safety stance.
Shoot, just leave it right there, dude. Don't
Good as
even
new.
just put some super glue behind it. I think it'll be perfect.
Good as new. Put in a little self tapper there. Hank, come get your truck. So, I think I have a name for this truck.
Well,
We are going to call it from now on Project Texas.
I mean, I don't know why you would call it that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this truck,
brother. Thank God I'm up to date on all my shots.
I'm not.
Nah, so we've got just a lot of rough cutting going on right now. And as you can see right there, we basically took out the whole rocker and inner rocker at one time. And basically, this is gonna be just a flush fit right back up in there. Obviously, that's not perfect. I have some cleaning up to do and some fitting and things like that. But this is gonna go, this will go in behind that rocker panel, or the cab corner. And this is what the cab corner actually attaches to on this end whenever it folds over. Along right there, it's got this fold that goes over, and then you've spot welded in place. So that's pretty much where that will attach to. So this will have to go into the cab corner will go over the top of that. So we got this looking pretty decent as far as the rough cut goes and getting it ready to fit. So we're pretty much gonna be able to tell what we have to fix right here, figure out where we're gonna have to cut that cab corner as well, so we can get that cut out and start getting everything fitted in. So also fixing out those floor pans, figure out exactly where they go and just how much we have with the floor pan, so we can set it in there, figure out where we're gonna start cutting and all. we're basically, I think, gonna focus on one side at a time. So right now we got this side tore apart. We'll get this side put back together, tacked in place before final welding, obviously. So we'll work on this side, try to get this side squared away, and then we'll move over to the other side and then start doing the same thing over there because it's pretty much got the same repair that has to be done, but this has more. So we're gonna address this side first, I think, before we move over there. I think that'll be definitely the best approach.
So I walk into the shop, right? And I noticed Hank got some new suspension for the truck. It looked weird.
It's a hover truck. It's a hovercraft.
It's got Bluetooth wheels on it, dude.
Now, so Hank came over a few days ago, got these wheels and tires. I was going to work. I think you were here.
Yeah, I was here. I helped him with whatever he needed help with.
Yeah, so he came and got the wheels and tires. I think he's got something else planned. Went and bought another set or something like that. So he took the old wheels and tires so he could get those tires took off, put on the new wheels so they can go back on the truck. But you know what, Hank, we can't move the truck, bro.
I mean,
it's stuck here.
I mean, I can use my gains and just pick the truck up and put it outside if I need to, you know? Yeah, just like that.
Yeah. So anyway, as you guys know, we got to work the other day cutting everything out. Hunter had to leave, but I did stick around. I went ahead, got this floor all cut out, so it's basically like a Flintstone truck right now. There's no floors. No floors at all.
Oh, and you did this all while I was gone, so there's no film of you cutting it.
None. So anyway, we got that out of the way, kind of got it fitted where it needs to go. We got the floor pan cut and trimmed, ready to go back in there. But while we're here, we need to go ahead and kind of cut something out to come in here and take care of all that rust right there so that we're able to tie our rocker panels into that and address that so that we don't have any more issues there. So that way we can start body working everything in once we get it all welded together and all that good stuff. So there's still a whole bunch of work to get done right here, and unfortunately we just don't have a whole lot of time. So anyway, I think we're gonna go ahead right quick and spot weld that floor in place. That way we can kind of have something to build to, and then we'll trim this out and cut out a little piece to go in there, and then we're gonna get to work going ahead and putting those inner rockers, outer rockers, get all that stuff tacked in place so that pretty much everything is where it needs to be, so that way we can figure out kind of what we got, where we need to go, and then we'll weld everything on out later on and do body work and all that stuff. So it's a whole bunch of work, man, and it just takes so much time to do this sort of thing.
Yeah, and we also got a late start today, so we're going to do as much as we can tonight.
Yep, we're going to get this tacked in place, and it'll be what it'll be.
You okay, buddy?
I made a mistake.
Well, what was the mistake?
I forgot it. Welding wire doesn't last forever.
No, it doesn't. And you know what else doesn't last forever?
Harbor Freight.
The opening times for Harbor Freight. It is 8:30.
It is, and they close at like 7. I thought that I had a couple more rolls of wire to be able to weld, and I don't. I've got this stuff.
What is that stuff?
This is gasless, and this is for aluminum, and it's not gonna work.
Yeah, we ain't working with either one of those.
No, I mean, I could turn off the gas, go ahead and load this up and weld with it, but it's not even worth it. You know what I mean? Plus, it's 8:30 at night. But basically, we got to the point where we pretty much have the floor tacked in almost all the way around. We got everything fitted in about where we want it. Got the gap closed up over here. I'm having a little bit of an issue right there, but what I think it is, the floor brace is like stuck on top of the old floor pan. So I'm just gonna have to get in there and kind of move everything down, or move everything around, and I'll get it to sit down, flush it up. We'll go ahead and weld it up. But other than that, man, we've got a pretty decent fit. It's solid, not fiberglass, so there's that.
Yeah, and you can tell that you did mess up once.
I did. Had to move it a little bit, but it's okay. Got that. I'm gonna re-drill those spots, go ahead and weld those back and all that stuff. But this joker is gonna be in solid. So got some good tacks in there. Once we get everything fitted up, we'll go ahead and weld everything up. That way we can grind it down, go ahead and put filler over it, do what we gotta do there, and then finish everything out just like it's really supposed to be.
And then do the other side.
Yep. Then we got the whole other side, which we're probably not going to do on camera, man. Once you've seen us do this one side, you've seen us do both sides.
Yeah, it's just literally just take this, mirror it.
Exactly. And so it takes a little more time when you're trying to film stuff like this. So basically what we'll do is we'll just get this knocked out and get it finished up, and then I'll do the other side off camera. And then when we do body work and everything, it'll be
Yeah,
smooth
and I
sailing.
mean, this side was a lot worse than that side, so you can see if we did this side, you know we did that side.
Yeah, this is the worst side, so we do have all of this down here that we're going to have to rebuild, which isn't as bad as I thought. Now that I've got the floor pan in here, and I can kind of fit our outer rocker up, which you can tell right there. I've still got a little trimming to do on that.
Yeah, we just cut that and just went with it for a bit.
Just a rough cut. But basically, once we get that put up in there, you can see basically we just have to build. It's like an inch all the way around. So I'll just cut that piece out and then put another piece in there that's almost identical. It'll come down and meet up with this one. So not really going to be a big deal there. So anyway, I guess unfortunately that's as far as we're going to get tonight because, you know, can't weld anymore and you have to weld this stuff. So pretty much we're going to call it a night tonight, and then I think you go to work in the morning.
No, there ain't no, I think it is. I do go to work
You do
tomorrow.
go to work tomorrow, so you won't be here, but I will be here, and so I'll go in the morning, I'll get some welding wire, I'll come back, and then hopefully tomorrow we'll have all this stuff tacked in and pretty much have this side wrapped up so that after we finish the other side, we can come back, we can do all of the welding and get it all completed so we can start grinding it down and blending it all in.
And then hopefully Hank brings us wheels so we can back it up and then clean up this mess.
This is true, because we have a mess.
I swept the floor like 15 times just taking this truck apart.
Yeah, this is all from inside those rocker panels, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
So
Dirt,
anyway,
rust, all sorts of stuff.
That's right. Anyway, that being said, I'm ready for a shower. I'm disgusting. I'm sweaty. It's humid. I'm going to get a shower, and then I'll come back out tomorrow, and we'll make a little more progress. All right, guys, so back out here in the shop, finally got some welding wire, so I'm out here working on getting these rocker panels ready to go back in, the inner rockers and the outer rockers. So pretty much got the floor pan completely welded in, tacked in. Anyway, we're not going to completely weld it just yet. So pretty much getting everything ready to get those rockers put back in. First thing I'm going to do, though, is go ahead and rebuild that piece right along here that I had shown you guys yesterday whenever I was out here. So I'm going to go ahead and get a piece cut out to go in there, get that welded in. We'll probably just go ahead and tack that as well, just tack it along where it's going to be welded, and then we'll come back in and we'll do the final welding once we get everything into the final welding ground down, and then that way we can do body filler or, you know, blend everything like it needs to be. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to go ahead and build that little piece, and then we're going to start trimming our rocker, getting that put in, and hopefully taking care of all of the rust on this side. So not going to waste any time. I don't have very long today, but I've got to get this knocked out. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to get to work right now. Alrighty guys, so this is where we are so far. Got the floor pan welded in, got this little piece right here that was so bad, got that built out. I know what you guys are thinking so far. Probably looks like a hack job, and I agree, it looks kind of rough right now, but this is one of those things that when I say trust the process, I promise it's going to look better. All those welds will be ground down, it's going to be finished out. You're not ever going to know that this happened, as well as finishing welding all the way around these floor pans, grinding those down, blending that, all that, so it'll look normal. So right here, what I had to do was, whenever I cut all this stuff loose, apparently this panel right here, or this piece here, actually shifted forward a bit. So it made the rocker panel actually a little bit short. So what I had to do here was hook a ratchet strap there and go all the way back to the suspension so I could pull this back, and I got it to where everything lined up. So this is all tacked in place. So I'm not going to do any more with that right now until I'm able to hang the doors. But other than that, it's looking pretty good. Fitment is pretty good, and there's a whole lot less rust than there was when we started. So I have to hang the doors, and unfortunately, I have nobody here to help me with that. So I'm gonna have to wait until Hunter is here to be able to do that, to make sure that we don't have any issues with fitment and stuff like that, especially since the firewall shifted and all that. We had to pull it back to get everything to fit. So we wanna make sure we put those doors on there so that everything lines up. We get our gaps right and all that before we fully weld that out, because once it's fully welded, it's just gonna be that much more trouble to cut it out and get it to fit right. So want to do that and make sure it's right. But anyways, we're pretty much done with this side aside from the inner fender. I'm going to do that a little bit later, but all I have left to do really now is to do the other side, but I'm not going to film it. I'm going to just do that off camera, get that done, and pretty much get it to the same point here. So that way whenever we come back, we can fully weld everything out, grind it down, and start blending and be done with our rust repair on the cab. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out that video right there. It's a full walk around of this truck, shows you all the damage and all of the work that we have to do. So make sure you check that out, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.